Alright, let's start the event. So we're doing 37's Anecdote, a day plotted logarithmically. If I pronounce it right, I don't know. After 0, new numbers. Part 1. So it looks like I have to read a lot of this stuff since like for an analog thing, there's no voice actors for most parts, and if they do, there's like just a couple lines. All right, now let me get a look at this thing. So this special exhibit area is located in Zone C. It looks like we need to take this path to get there. I can't believe I'm finally getting to see the stone with my own 2 eyes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I remember those critics on TV calling it a hoax. Let's see what they have to say for themselves now. The La Paz Museum, a place rich in history and heritage, for a long time has been silent, but now it buzzed once more with shuffling feet and whispering curiosity. So, this is a promotion poster of for the special exhibit.
Brilliant!
I like the simple geometric lines. The arrangement is just right. 3 young people sit at the round table in a museum refreshment area. One of the girls, dressed in peculiar flowing robes, draws a curious glance from the passerby. However, her eyes do not bulge. They are fixed on the poster in her hand. It titles The Past Museum Special Exhibit The Miracle Stone from 4.5 billion kilometers across the cosmos. A small circles at the bottom reads, Special Star of Wonder, Team Ice Cream, available during exhibit only. Sorry for the wait, folks. Here's your ice cream. I don't think we waited too long, but thank you all the same. Come on now.
Thank
You and your friends saved my shop. I owe you big time. The 2 other young people at the table also received their ice cream. Looks yummy, even better than the poster. I wouldn't usually eat this kind of thing. All the same though, I never thought things would turn out the way it did.
I don't understand.
Miss Miller told me she considered the survival of her ice cream shop to be the result of your hard work, but I still don't know the whole story. And then, there's Miss 37.
I know.
Everyone at the community center has been talking about you. They said that you're brilliant mathematics. I'm honored to finally meet you in person. Please, there's no need for formalities. You can call me 37, and I'll call you Urza. Is that alright? I heard a lot about you too.
Your number.
You're precisely as I thought you'll be. Your real and imaginary parts are neat numbers. Not that I dislike that at all. I never had an imaginary number for a friend before. Imaginary numbers? Like the one Descartes proposed in the 17th century? You'll get used to it. I have no clue what she was saying when I first met her. To be honest, half the time, I still don't. I'm sure that must be an interesting story. I still have some time before my lecture. I'd love to hear it if you like.
Sure.
Certainly. I think we should start with my theorem that our heads is in tangent with the table.
I'm sorry. Good.
I warned you. Mesmer Jr. sighs. She'd rather just finish her ice cream in peace. but it seems the task of telling the story essentially has been forced upon her. Well, it all started with the old classmate, 13. It was all because of her that I got mixed up with 37, and a series of particular events followed. So this is a story about a museum, ice cream, distant stars, and numbers. What is she thinking? Do I look like a babysitter? Who even uses this kind of things nowadays? The therapist looks down at the scroll in her hand, like something out of ancient Greece.
Nothing.
It's none of my business. Excuse me. I'm looking for someone here from the Foundation. She came to headquarters for advanced training.
That's right.
Incredible. So that was the right value. Huh? What was that? The particular self-absorbed target for her inquiries is not the best choice, but then finding a normal researcher in the place is never a simple task. With the lobby uncommonly empty today, it seems there is no better option available. I said I was looking for someone here from the Foundation. She came to headquarters for advanced training.
I don't know.
Do I look like a receptionist? Go ask someone else. I don't have time for... Hang on. You're looking for 37 too? In both numbers and name, it seems they're both looking for the same figure, and they're not alone.
Huh?
2? Yes. I'm looking for a girl named 37. The researcher's eyes widen. A fear response.
No.
No. He begins moving towards the hallway as fast as his uncoordinated, noodle-like limbs can carry him. I was here first! You! Get behind me! Wait your turn! He runs off as the echoing of his footsteps fade from the lobby. The lone therapist is left standing there, bewildered.
What?
Is there a queue for her to meet 37? What's going on here? Researchers all spread across the corridor like an outbreak of gray-coated mold. Some are locked in a heated discussion, while others sprawl out of the floor or lean against the wall, writing, notioning, and sketching out figures and graphs. All of them enthralled in the kind of maniac frenzy Mercer Jr. recognized, but certainly does not condone.
Okay, I got it.
So, that's why the lobby is so empty today. Emptier than usual anyway. She paused there a while, as a constant stream of researchers clutching their papers rush into the room at the end of the hall, or go running off out of it, waving their seemingly solved problems.
That's awesome.
Yes, she got it! That girl's really a genius.
Insanity.
This place never changes. Egghead scientists losing their mind at the slightest provocation. Fortunately, the researchers, glued as they are in their place in line, takes no notice of her. She takes a deep breath and heads to the room at the end of the hallway. Piles of paper are scattered Jaromsky models, almost buried the entire desk. And the small office is crammed with researchers, packed like jittering cans of liquefied anxiety. They wave their papers in the air, surrounding the desk like hungry gawakis.
Hey!
Hey, 37, look at this. I calculated using the method you searched last time. Here's the new data, but now a new problem cropped up. Wait, I'm not done yet. Wait your turn. I've been waiting all day, you buffoon. Swallow your pride and just accept 37's algorithm is simpler than yours.
What?
What? Tosh, driven, and baloney? Just look closely, you.
So gross.
What kind of mess have I walked into now? This place is a battlefield and egghead hell. The therapist draws a sharp breath, pulling her head out of the chaotic abyss. Personally, I like it. I'll be more inclined to employ the metaphor of valiant heroes catapulting themselves into a courageous confrontation to earn the favor of their goddess. X. After an initial surprise of hearing the familiar voice, Mesmer resumes her usual indifferent expression. Do you intend on becoming one of these heroes? Rather than deflecting to win the favor bestowed on by the goddess, I intend only to extend an invitation her way to join me in spectating a sumo wrestling match.
What?
However, encountering a friend here, that's you, Mesmer, I must admit, I have indeed been taken quite by surprise. I didn't take you to be the type to enjoy these glory spectators. Even when faced with challenges, you lean towards resolving them independently. Oh. The Papa Cross scroll, craters in the brunette's arm, is an obvious clue. The young researchers may excel in constructing complex systems, but he is just as adept in confronting obstacles and distractions to find the truth. What's this the timekeeper's doing? She certainly knows how to use people to get what she wants. Not long ago, while Mr. Jr. was on official business at the Foundation, she encountered her now unusual fame. At the same time, she was hurrying down the hall. On the phone for an unknown party, she always seemed so busy.
Yes.
I'm on my way. I'll be there soon, Mr. Jr. Vertin. I must say, I'm actually glad to see you. I have a favor to ask of you. The busy star of the Foundation makes her request to deliver an important letter on her behalf to a colleague training at the computing center. Do you have the thing these days called Critter Express?
No.
I'm afraid Carbuncles won't be able to confirm what's going on with 37 for me. She said that she's fine, but she never left her island before, so I'm worried that her fine may not really count as fine. I was hoping you might help confirm just how fine she is now, as the most trustworthy person I know at the computing center. How amusing. She seems to have forgotten what transpired in this very hallway, but Member Jr. knows that is impossible. Is this a trap? Psychological manipulation? A true gesture of goodwill? Or perhaps... She should have said no.
I don't understand.
I don't really know why she insists on asking me.
And I
have always trusted her judgment, particularly when it concerns people. Mesmer Jr. does not wish to dwell on the topic. Her eyes reaches for the room down the hallway. Anyway, how would you describe things around here? Vertin leaves this girl with you for a second, and now it looks like she's been eaten alive. How long has this been going on? Since the day she arrived at the computing center. Do you recall the problem bar left at the blackboard to the left of the lobby over a year ago? The one no one could solve? That girl passed by during her first day preamble, and 2 seconds later, bam! She has the answer all chalked out. Since then, this hallway has become the rowdiest strip in the entire LSCC. Mesmer Jr. looks at the researcher coming and going, a frown growing more evident on her face.
Oh, please.
There are researchers from every department here. Are they telling me that this one girl has insight into every field of research, compelling enough to cause all this? It's impossible. No. Oh, no. That's not it. She's barely aware of most of our research. All she deals with is mathematics. Mathematics? She repeats the word. Of course. I heard I heard that that island was a hotbed for math geniuses.
That's right.
Exactly. Just as dear old Leonardo pointed out long ago, mathematics is the foundation of all science, but most people have failed to grasp the universal truth. But this girl is not like most people. She doesn't know anything about chemistry, astronomy, or physics. But she can solve any single of their problems if she reduces it to a mathematical problem. It's not overstating her abilities here. There's yet to be a math puzzle she encountered that includes her comprehension. Really? She does all that with just mathematics? I too harbor a reservation until I observed it in action. Maybe I could offer an example for your accreditation. The original progenitor of mathematics employed a fascinating sexism numeric system, yet this is not the most extraordinary aspect of her knowledge. The most remarkable aspect was that their framework lacks both the notion of zeros and of decimals, yet they still managed to produce accurate results. The pinnacle of our most advanced arcanum pals in comparison to the skill demonstrated by the remarkable girl.
Oh, please.
Exaggeration as always. I see. We both know how they did it. Mesmer did not enjoy drawing attention to her intellect the way her peers do, but there's no doubt that she belongs among them. 1, 10, 100, and 0.1 all represents 1. When written in their methods, whenever they need to use this number in their calculations, like if they wanted to multiply it by 100, in theory, they end up stuck with no way to progress. Since they use their cuneiform symbols, they're not the actual numbers they represent. They didn't have no way of knowing what numbers the symbol stood for. But they didn't need to know. In their abstract mathematical world, whether the answer is whether the answer is 100, 1000, or 10,000, ultimately, by following the same rule, they arrive at the same answer, 1. The therapist shakes her head. There's nothing magic about it. Please step aside. Sorry, today's Q&A session is over.
Don't do this.
By what right do you think you got a monopoly on 37's time? This is an travesty. All of us will suffer, you hear. She slams the door. Global scientific progress will have to wait. Alright now. Mr. Jr. cleans the path to the desk. Beneath the desk, next to a chair rendered in an unproper bookcase, due to a pile of paper stacked on it, hides the head of a tangled light-colored hair. So, it can be proven that when n is greater than 2, there is no positive integer solution. This proof is correct, but this method is different from ours. Incredible. To be continued. So before we start part 2, that's always the thing. Museum ice cream. Wait. Best wishes from genius. Wait. Best wishes to the genius. Museum ice cream parlor. So we're doing part 2. Platonic solids. Platonic solids. A beautiful a beautiful a beautiful hippopotamus. Though unattended, the heart yearns for it.
Oh!
Yes, this proof is flawless. And even better, it's correct.
Why?
Why didn't anyone on the island realize this was another way? I need to note this down. Six will definitely want to know about this. Hello, 37. Sorry to interrupt. How regrettable. This Hypotenuse is so intruding, yet ultimately untrue. It's always a heartbreak to disprove of elegant theory. The Gajoran theory regarding planets and platonic solids are similar. It was so perfect, everyone wishes it might be true, but it wasn't. The girl beneath tangent hair is absorbed in her own world. Perhaps it's just her imagination, but there's a trace of monotony in the girl's voice. But who would feel sad over a mathematical proof? There must be some perfect order, a function through which all things can be predicted. We just haven't found it yet. Error, then, doesn't really mean failure. Within each failure may lie the key to the truth.
Oh!
Yes. Yes, that must be it. Ow. It dud as the expected result.
Look!
That is why children are usually not permitted to play underneath tables. Perhaps you should consider utilizing the chair for the intended purpose, 37. I probably should ask before, but why exactly do you follow me in here? Oh, don't be like that. I didn't say anything about carelessly abandoning my previous intention of sending an invitation to our computer celebrity to partake in speculating a muscle-bound sparring competition. When it comes to X, the more long and nonsensical word he puts in a sentence, the more likely he's trying to hide something. But prying the truth from him would be effort she'd rather not waste. She's better off ignoring him. He's one small spore of gray mold left in the room, that's all. Are you okay? I'm fine.
Essentially.
If we consider my head to be a circle and the edge of the table to be a straight line, then no matter where I actually hit it, at the moment of collision, my head was only briefly tangible to the table. Not intersecting, not separated, but in tangent. This is a very good positional relationship. From the center of the circle, my head's ideal motor center. A line through the tangent point must be particular to the table. The sine of 90 degrees is 1, the cosine is 0, and the tangent is infinitely. There's no better angle than 90 degrees. Oh, I'm totally fine. It doesn't hurt at all.
Good.
Fine. In truth, her particular exclamation, coupled with tears swelling in her eyes, is not all that convincing. You're a new face. That's an odd way to get across the question. Most might say, "Who are you?" or some other politeness, but then this girl is not most people.
What's the next question?
What number have you brought me? Let's have a look at your problem. She extends her hands to the therapist. It appears this is the protocol she has established with the Galacans from earlier. The number I brought is 6. She places the perfect letter in the girl's palm. 6?
A perfect number.
Yes, 6 is a good number, a familiar number. What kind of proof do you want to... Wait, do you wish to make with this number? The girl's mathematic babble slows as she faces deeply on the pouch scroll in her hands, lost in contemplation.
Nothing.
I don't have a problem. This is a letter from someone named 6. Verton asked me to give it to you.
Oh!
Verton and 6? Her eyes lights up. She grabs the outstretched scroll and unties it in a flurry of moments. Let's see what 6 wrote. First question. Are you getting used to life over there?
No problem.
I am indeed. Meals are delivered to me daily through a intriguing Danunic tube system, and they don't serve me any beans. This allows me to focus on my research without any distraction. Second question. Have you gotten sick? No, I'm in good health. Though without Sophia to comb my hair, it has gotten a bit matted. But that's alright, I'll just cut out the part I can't entangle. Have I learned anything new? Yes! I learned so many new things and built up a collection of newspaper clippings I plan on sending back to the island. My research? Well, I gathered a lot of numbers and solved many problems and then... The girl stares at the letter in her hand, falling silent. Is something wrong? To be honest, I don't think my research is going well at all.
I think.
My hypnosis is that if I venture to the world beyond the island, I might encounter many more numbers than before. I theorized that so long that I attained enough numbers, no matter how complex the function, I could graph it and calculate the formula, or at least obtain the clues necessary to solve them. Numbers are the key to the truth. I must decipher them. The girl says the word with absolute conviction.
What?
The truth? Is that the topic of your research? Yes. The response came without the slightest ambiguity. Last time, I failed. I got the answer, but I was too slow, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't complete, and bad things happened. That's why I need to find a better answer. The more complete truth, then the bad things won't happen again, and everything will function as it should, in the most ordered manner. Is that so? She says it all with sincerity that, as bizarrely grandiose as it sounds, Mesmer knows the girl is completely serious. But how could she even begin to evaluate such an overly ambitious goal? Before she can respond, the girl lowers her head. I run into a problem. I encounter many more numbers, but I still can't decipher the function at the work behind them. It feels like... Oh. Are you familiar with hopscotch? The kids' game? Yes. Sophia taught me how to play it. I think my situation is a bit like hopscotch. The name is totally unfamiliar to her, but the girl seems unaware even at the need to explain that much. She lowers her gaze and takes a step forward on the laboratory floor. See? Numbers can be found within all things. So now, I'm currently in this square.
Okay, I got it.
Sure. As far as she can see, there are no squares on the floor. But what does that mean by numbers can be found within all things? And behind the number lies the path to the truth, but... The girl looks at the floor in the front of her, shaking her head. I cannot see where the next square is drawn, so I'm stuck here, unable to move forward. I understand. She doesn't understand at all. All parts of her wishes she could say, well, keep trying, I'll be leaving now. But as she watches the girl, who was so exhilarated reading the letter and now appears so despondent, she cannot bring herself to say it. You see, that's the why of it. The therapist glance signals for the mole behind her to remain silent. I'm not sure of the specifics, but it looks like you hit a block. This is very normal. I'm sure nearly everyone in the computing center has been in your shoes before. Do you mean it? Everyone here has been through the same thing? This is the first time I felt so hopeless. Up until now, even if I didn't have to answer right away, I never felt upset about it. I don't really understand it. The experiment's artificially similar therapist needs only a glance around the room to identify the problem. Closed windows, dusty corner, disorganized files, a blanket thrown on the sofa, and a stainless steel fluid delivery can scattered all over the place. When was the last time you went outside?
Huh?
That's strange. I can only provide an appropriate value, nothing precise.
Got it.
I thought as much. Listen, maybe you could go out with your friends. Mesmer Jr. holds back the second half of her sentence. She knows something of the girl's background. She left her home and came to the computing center alone to carry out her research. With everyone from the team timekeeper preoccupied with other tasks, 37's most likely doesn't have any friends to go out with.
Maybe I should.
Perhaps I could. Perhaps you could go out for a walk or something. Her professional ethics demands that she offers a non-commitment, all-purpose suggestion. A walk. The girl thinks for a moment, then nods. You make a good point. A walk might help me progress my research. It's a solid hypothesis at least. Hypothesis at least. Previously, when we needed inspiration, we might take a walk on the beach or calculate the trajectory of seagulls while relaxing in the sun. The suggestion is accepted, but the girl still appears hesitant. Perhaps I shouldn't let such trivial worldly concerns hold me back. But I discovered that there's no beach nearby. No seagulls either. So that's why I'm not all that enthusiastic about going out for a walk. Some people are blinded to their own emotions. They disregard their own feelings and immerse themselves in solving other people's problems. This is true of one of her classmates and the girl standing before her. Mesmer Jr. doesn't know much about 37, but sees the problem is not just the absence of sand and seagulls. Her work was over. She shouldn't even be here anymore. Maybe you could go somewhere else. Do you have any suggestions? Well, you could try. A blind spot emerges. Mentor is not quite skilled at relaxing either. But by luck, the mole still growing silent in the room happens to be quite an expert in the field.
Looks like...
Ladies, it appears you might require some advice. Would you like to hear my 2 cents? To be continued. 3. Deviation. Those specific little things always arrive unexpectedly. So we're back at the museum. And now, lucky me, I'm honored to serve as an escort to you 2 ladies. You're late.
Sorry.
Sorry, but at least I'm not the last one we're waiting on. The 4th chair at the round table is pulled out. The young researcher seats himself with his chivalrous smile. Sounds like you're expounding on our recent narrative, Urza, my friend. You can deduct our current destination.
Too simple.
The question is simple, but as usual, we need a hint. We are currently within the domain of dysfunction.
I think...
I think I'm beginning to understand Miss 37. I mean, 37's sense of humor. It's here, isn't it? The Laplace Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. I heard of museums before. This place is like a number line marked with important points. We can't mark all the good numbers because they're infinite.
Brilliant!
But we can still pick some representative ones. So, when we look at this number line, we can see their progress and relation. It's a good approach.
Oh!
What is this glass case? Is it some kind of metal ore? It's liponic. It contains metal, but we typically classify it as a rare earth mineral. People often confuse it with zircon, but I must assert there is no substantial difference. But I thought you'd be more intrigued by the aurit adjacent to it. See that ethereal blue color? It typically captures the eyes before its neighbors. All the crystals inside have 3 acts particular to each other. but the knife are not the same. It's not a perfect shape. This one is different. Look closely. If we took a cross section, it forms a perfect square. The four faces of these crystals are symmetric. Wait,
A perfect number.
look at this. The crystal. There's no mistaking it. They're made of Korean dough. Can't pronounce that word, but irregular at that. This mineral has the most perfect shape in their display case.
Thank you.
Then allow me to thank you on behalf of the garnet. In fact, I also have a fondness for this stone. Endearing appearance paired with peerless practical. Have I mentioned I possess many small spears of this mineral, of various size and cuts? I often select one based on my mood. Observing those elegant little objects rolls on the track in a real delight.
Oh,
You mean you have a lot of perfect spears? May I see your collection?
That's right.
Absolutely. I'm glad we share a similar interest in them. The smiling researcher looks at the young mathematic, pondering over her for a moment.
Looks like...
You got a unique perspective on the exhibit here, but I think there are some others you find more fascinating. Are you interested in the insect exhibit? Do they have any weevils? I heard they contain a perfect representative of the golden ratio. The girl bounces towards the insect hall like a mint green balloon. Mesmer Jr. doesn't take part in their academic discussion about minerals, bugs, or geometric. She remains, as ever, a model visitor, quietly appreciating the exhibit and offering only occasional whispers thoughts. The place has changed a lot since the last time I was here. I don't remember any of these exhibits.
As far as I know,
After our mutual friend Urza took over the mantle of courier, she has exerted considerate effort into the place's development. He reconfigured the layout of the halls, increased the number of exhibits by nearly half, and greatly expanded the range of the items on display.
look!
Check out this golem dung. Before Urza, you never see something like this here, and at most, the exhibit descriptions will merely state that over 90% of the rock golem dung is composed of a rock. Not to disparage, but the old curator were the type to say, "Oh no, we can't have this sort of thing here. It's entirely inappropriate. Get that thing out of display." But here it is, a rocky golem dung, displayed in the world's finest museum. Scanning over new exhibit, Mesmer finds herself agreeing with her colleagues for once. I heard that Leptis museum workload has doubled since the storm began. So much for the cushy, precious job. Now it's a real challenge. Each time the storm approaches, the museum exhibit must all be moved to the safer location. Then, once the storm passes, there's the tedious task of taking inventory. Everything devolves into chaos after the storm. Painstakingly achieved results obliterate overnight. After living through it several times, it's difficult not to lose hope. But this place has been restored to life.
fabulous.
Urza is passionate, inclusive, and pragmatic. Appointing him as courier was the right decision. A loud explosion interrupts her praise.
What?
What was that noise? What's going on here? The robbery? It's an attack? Did somebody fall? In the office area at the rear of the museum, thick smoke bellows from the room around the corner. What stacks wasn't part of the exhibit? I don't like it. No, I'm certain it wasn't. Amidst the confusion, is he gonna be Sutterby? Who caused the explosion? Amidst the confusion, a familiar figure emerges from the smoke, and Mesmer Jr. instantly sees red.
Ugh.
Oh, medicine pocket! Damn it, I knew the data was way off. Those dumbasses must have volcano ash for brains. Unfortunately, I came prepared. Try this on for size. The instigator mutters while pulling out the terrain bulb, roughly stripping its leaves before tossing it into the smoky room. In a matter of moments, the room ceased to spew smoke in the air, much to everyone's relief. I'm so done. Couldn't that heat-resistant layer just lasted a couple more seconds?
Insanity.
You're not done with me, aren't you? Aren't. But how about you explain why you're here and just what you think you're doing? Isn't that obvious? I'm making cupcakes, of course. Cupcakes, okay. Cupcakes? I do love cupcakes, especially with a cup of fresh brew coffee.
So gross.
Stop joking around. Medicine Pocket, what were you thinking bringing your insane experience here? Does Ursa knows about this? How in the hell? I can't believe you. Master Judah has no patience for Medicine Pockets, less than a reasonable excuse for today. She felt the need to retract her praise to the new police museum curator. It's clear to see that the young man's overly generous attitude has opened the doors to certain shameless individuals.
Keep away from me.
Fine, you know what? Do whatever you want. The therapist makes her decision. A wise, rational, responsible decision.
Follow me.
Let's keep moving, 37. Just ignore this person and this unpleasant little episode and continue our tour of the museum. Of course, if the cupcakes lovers wants to stay behind, he's more than welcome to. After all, sometimes you need to be careful about the company you keep, right, 37? The main green balloon she reaches for is gone, having floated over to the beagle.
Huh?
You mentioned the data being off. What data? May I examine it? A variety of horrible select flashes through Mesmer's imagination. Of course, anything to do with numbers seemed to carry special allure to her companion.
Leave me alone.
First of all, who the hell are you? And second, what's it to you? Wait. They sniffed the unfamiliar balloon up and down with curiosity.
Is that...
Oh, you're the one with the numbers for the name. I heard of you.
Not rigorous.
That's totally inaccurate. There are infinite sets of numbers in the world, but I'm just 37, just one number.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fine, whatever. Just show me what you can do, number brain. Come on over here and take a look at this for me. Wow. The main green balloon is whisked away by the beagle. The horror begins to feel real. What's Master Junior gonna do?
Good.
I think it's about time you answer my question. What exactly are you researching? The therapist's question is direct at the late arriving last participant of the ice cream round table. But the individual being questioned merely pulls out a chair, sits down, and starts devouring their ice cream with gusto, clearly unfazed by the accusation.
Hey, stop it.
Why don't you exercise that big brain of yours and take a guess? If you can't figure it out, well, I guess you're gonna have to settle with cupcakes explanation. I look at Medicine Pocket's data. It seems to be concerned with some kind of plant or maybe an insect. Sorry, I was only paying attention to the numbers.
That's right.
Medicine Pocket is trying to find a way to artificially cultivate Icarus, a precious herb that only grows in certain volcanic environments, with a limited annual yield. Local legend says it boosts miraculous effects and can bring the dead back to life. Obviously, it is likely to be a exaggerated claim.
Research shows...
But after examining the related records, we believe the herb ethanol extract may have power-neutral repair properties.
An extraordinary discovery.
If this can be confirmed, there may be a path to a cure for many presently incurable neurological diseases. Think about the hope that could bring to people around the world.
Brilliant.
This sounds like a wonderful thing. I don't know Medicine Pocket was doing such important research.
That's right.
See? You misunderstand, Miss Mirza. This isn't about some feathered brain scheme. It's a meaningful project with real values to civilization. That's why I allowed Medicine Pocket to perform their work here in the museum. The young museum curator is known for his sincere virtue. It is hard to remain indifferent when seeing things through his young eyes. But there's still no reason to explain explosion in the museum.
Hey, stop it.
First, don't misunderstand my intentions. I don't give a crap about some miracle cure. I just want to find out if this thing is as amazing as the legend says. And as for the little incident, you can blame those incompetent Sasquatches responsible for producing the local environmental data. The records are a mess. You could have done all this in the lab. You think I didn't want to? I submitted my application, but the miserable old man and bureaucrat processing the request piled up to the foundation ceiling. The Ohibia cordis Icarus only grows for a few months. If we miss this chance, we're gonna have to wait a whole year, and I won't wait that long. So I kicked open the old man's office, and then you got kicked
What
out.
a coincidence.
I happened to be passing you by and witnessed the entire episode.
Look,
I must concede, Mr. Hoffman has a point. If everyone stormed into his office claiming their matters were more urgent than everyone else's and demanded his immediate absence, there's no end to the chaos.
Fine.
That old geezer looks like a withered gray knotweed, but he's pretty pricky.
but
However, as I recall, he did grant you permission. He said, figure it out for yourself.
Nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
So I figured it out. My innocent pocket flashes a mischievous smile.
And you, my
Mm.
friend.
When you make it big, you have to help out the little guys. That's what good friends do, right? Besides, this museum is huge.
I reject.
I retain my opinion. Anyway, just look, our native protagonists are now all present. When young researchers congratulate, we envision it to spark some kind of a chemical reaction, a guarantee of a bright future.
but
But there is a minor issue. Our two friends here appear to have made a slight diversion in the problem-solving philosophers. Concerns appeared on the young cultivator's face. Curator's face. What happened?
And the answer is...
This is the answer. It doesn't match the number you entered in the device, so it went wrong. You need to adjust the number, and you will reach the correct solution.
Huh?
What? That's impossible. The draft paper is snatched away. This genius biological researcher who has pursued several groundbreaking results in the field of Arctum is no ordinary individual. After a moment, they look up. Guess what? You're right. However, a word indicating a turn spoke with a peculiar fine tone.
And then...
You can't just say adjust a number and just be done with it. The problem isn't solved yet. How do we actually make the change? That isn't some adjustable perimeter. It's the real world, kid. You mean its dependent varies in other functions? No problem. Show me the formula. No, that's not what I meant. Come on. You can't talk about hard numbers and say, just change it. Why not? During my time at the computing center, many people came to me saying, 37, I don't understand why the data is like this. You understand the language of numbers. Tell me, what are they saying? They were confused by data abnormalities, and there is no unknown exception, or implicit errors. Oh, really? No numbers is wrong. It's just that you simply haven't discovered the appropriate theorem to include it. The girl's face has no hint of pride. She says it as it's stating an undeniable fact.
You haven't truly understood it.
If you're confused, then it's because you haven't yet discovered the real pattern. I'll be happy to help, just like I help the others. All present in the office holds their breath for a moment.
Ugh.
Wow. You sure have a big mouth for a little girl. You think all the puzzles have answers, and you can solve them just like that. Yes and no. There are so many puzzles in the universe. Even if the first challengers couldn't solve them, Their attempts became the foundation for future attempts. I just think the problem at hand isn't so difficult that we need to leave it for our successors.
Great!
Ha!
Great!
I gotta
Fantastic!
I gotta say, I haven't come against a challenge quite as interesting as this in a long time. The situation seems to be veering towards the chaotic until someone realizes it's time to intervene.
Fabulous.
Perhaps you two can calm yourself and be a little more rational in your discussion. Especially you, Mr. Pocket. You know that 37 didn't mean it that way.
Huh?
What do you mean, especially me? You were standing right there. You heard what she said, right? She started it. So don't go picking on me. The intervention has little effect, and the conflict seems to be escalating. Unfortunately, there's another participant who has long been skilled at meditating conflict in his own way. Is it X again? X. Attention everyone! Who likes some ice cream? All eyes turns towards him. You can't be serious, right?
Again?
Get bent.
Seriously?
Do you think I'm still in kindergarten?
Mm-hmm.
What's ice cream? What's ice cream? His His initial attempt ran in an unanticipated challenge, but he knows how to regain control. There's a shop in the refreshment area over there. My treat. The last two words had a predictable effect.
Good job.
Now you're in for it. I want a fool's work. With the first breaking of the ice and the first scoop of ice cream, things become easier. To be continued. I'm gonna check how many. So 8 total. So, alright. So I think we will take a break after this 4th one. So part 4, decagram. The decagram. Dots connects to lines. Lines move to forms faces. No coordinates goes without an invitation.
Fine.
I want to make it completely clear that I'm not asking you to solve that freaking number problem. That's my job, and I'm confident I can solve it. Misunderstandings are cleared up, and cones are bitten through.
I have to remind you.
Can I just say this? You got some serious tone issues you need to work on. Not everyone is as broad-minded as me, understand? Hey, are you listening to me? The answer is no. The girl's attention is wrapped entirely on the ice cream being handed to her. Here you go, cutie pie. It's chocolate. She holds the frosty sweet treat in her hands, the refreshing chill brushing past her skin. This... Huh?
A perfect number.
This is a perfect decagram. Why would it look like this?
Got it.
Oh. Wait, you mean... Oh. Looking at the shape from above, right? Looks like someone's starting up again. I see it, so this is some kind of mole, isn't it? What a tasteful choice.
Essentially.
I can see its shape. 4 equal triangles combined so it can be represented on the Shiva symbol. Finding a strange satisfaction with the ice cream shape, 37 speaks as she eagerly pulls out a notebook and pen and starts to write. Both notebooks and pens are emblazoned with the Laplace logo. Everyone present has their own, but none of have ever placed ice cream and star-shaped polygons side by side like this. Let's start with 12-1. We can't skip it, though. 12-1 can be simplified to 12, so that's actually a rectangular duplicate. Wait, the decagon.
And then...
Then there's 12 half, 12 third. 5 shapes appear on the paper. 37 labels each one with a self symbol and begins to evaluate them. 12 thirds is too clumsy. 12 fifths is too extreme. And the equal triangle is the most stable, making the shape it forms the best of the 4 regular dectograms.
Brilliant!
This is an excellent geometric shape, which means that ice cream must be a great dessert. To express her appreciation of the shape, 37 draws a smiley face beneath the dectogram labeled 12 fourths. The person sitting next to her looks down at the smiling doodle and can't help but laugh. Haha, a commendable choice indeed, but
And I...
personally, I might favor this rather more charming one composed of 3 squares. X pulls out his pen and draws a smiley face next to another shape. I manufactured gears in this shape before. They proved quite unreliable in compelling some of the most intriguing relays. Unassuming shapes often comes up with unexpected abilities. I'm a bit surprised you choose 12 thirds. Squares are solids, simple shapes. They don't match the impression you give off.
Interesting.
So, in your impression, Mr. 37, I am a restless and complex boy. Well, you certainly are a square, but a 12 third dectogram is different. It comes from the most basic of shapes,
Your number.
but doesn't come from the same rules. It's unique. I think I picked up some clues for solving your number puzzle.
I'm bored. So bored.
Hey.
So bored.
Hey, just tell me one thing. Why do you people always aim for the low-hanging fruit? Look. 12 fifths is awfully way cooler. The child's relays continues, and a third smiley face appears, the most arrogant of them all. Just like an untreated thunder fig husk, prickling like a hedgehog, its flesh isn't soft and juicy, or even edible, but is excellent for making anti-electric paste.
I have to remind you.
Let me spell it out for you. Only cowards fear shapes. Smart people uses them. You mean it's challenging, but it holds significance. That makes sense. Each acute angle of 12 fifths is 30 degrees. A special case among all acute angles. A right angle side is always equal to half the hypotenuse. When we want a right triangle, we almost always choose between the isolate and this. What about you, Mesmar? The confidence comes both early and unavoidably. Do I really have to choose one? Isn't this kind of juvenile? Fine, this one. So, 12 halves, a dectogram made of 2 hexagons. I thought as much.
Nothing.
I just picked randomly.
Yes,
But-
exactly.
It feels like you. Look at the 120 degree interior angles. They restrain their sharpness, appearing calm and steady. But hexagons are never truly stable. They collapse on any vertex that lead to catastrophic results. You have 2 hexagons, which helps, but they lock each other in. If either could be enlarged or reduced slightly, that would be an improvement. If they nested perfectly, they will attain 6 larger, more ethanol-pleasing isolotes triangles.
Fabulous.
Is this some kind of geometric-based divination? I think it's time to rewrap this up.
No.
Wait, we have one more shape. The regular dectagon. We can't omit it just like that. I'm afraid I have to agree with you on this one, number girl. I don't think anyone can stand having such obvious blank space smack bang in the middle of all this. But who could it be?
Good.
Considering where we are, should it not be Urza? Well, not so above our usual games as you implied.
Keep away from me.
Look, I just want whatever this is to end as quickly as possible. I'm happy that you come from around to seeing the charm of geometric memoir. But who is Urza? Mesmer draws another little head adjacent to 12, bestowing it with a brighter smile than her own. A friend of ours, a very sincere and knowledgeable friend, and the new curator of the museum. I hope you'll get a chance to meet him. I think you'll get along well.
I think.
Huh? Is he a human then, not an Arcanus? You heard of him? No. But you said he was a Dotogan. A Dotogan is different from these other shapes. It's not a star, but a rectangular polygon. However, a regular Dotogan is indispensable when considering 12 vertex shapes. Humans and Arcanus are different. These essence differ from ours. They're imaginary, non-existent numbers. We can still locate them using coordinate systems. With I as the y-axis unit, U a precise fraction. So if you're singing his praise, he must be exceptional. I would literally like to meet him. You may need a few days. He's busy preparing a special exhibit. Oh, 37! With a grass and cool and familiar touch, 37 is pulled back to reality from geometric realm.
No.
My Dotogram vertex is collapsing. It's melting quick. Take a bite.
Oh.
Her little head collides into ice cream.
Brilliant.
This is delicious. With such a perfect shape, it was bound to be tasty, but it's still simply astounding.
Nice.
It's just standard ice cream churned out of a machine, though I say it's better than what you get in the other refreshment area. Is this your first time eating this stuff? This ice cream came from that machine?
The scripture says.
The doctrine tells us not to seek pleasure, nor to indulge desire, but surely bringing this machine back with me wouldn't be a total violation of the rules. It will allow us to focus on studying beautiful three-dimensional shapes more joyfully. 6 would have to approve. Nam. After some last-second scrambling and well-placed bites, the melting ice cream disaster is averted. So have you found any new insights?
Brilliant.
About ice cream? I discovered that it's wonderful. No, I meant your research. Have you derived any inspiration from our excursion today? Her sky blue eyes blinks. She looks around, then down at the ice cream in her hand, and finally slowly shakes her head.
I don't know.
I was not sure. Oh, is that so?
Ugh.
Come on, this setup was perfect. This is supposed to be the part where you realize you discovered some profound truth in the moonlight of this crappy ice cream and shout, Eureka! And then rush back to the lab to work on your breakthrough.
So gross.
Medicine Pocket, you don't really believe that, do you? No one on the plus would laugh at that joke. The exhibit in the museum are all very interesting, and this ice cream is delicious. I found many good numbers today. But the girl looks down at her hand, where her perfect dotogram has been, but now nothing remains. Then she looks up. Upon the real-life star map on the museum ceiling, stars twinkle briefly, a rare chance to appreciate the grandeur of the cosmos with a naked eye. The path of the planets are clearly marked, and the vast Milky Way is unobstructed by light or atmospheric pollution. Every pixel is perfectly placed. What do I do at the community center seems to be the same. I came to get more numbers, talked with people from different fields, and it brought me these in return.
I think
I've grown somewhat. I've seen things, learned more, and gained more numbers than when I was on the island. However, when I look down, I still can't see where the next square is. Oh, is that so? This is not the expected results for her treatment. Mesmer Jr. suddenly recalls the conjunction about planetary distance and platonic solids that the girl once marveled in her lab. Johann Kepler held the legacy of worlds, discovered the 3 laws of planetary motions. In his book, Mysterio Cosmographicum He proposed a hypnosis. He claimed that the distance of the 6 planets had been known at the time. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Jupiter, and Saturn from the Sun could form 5 perfect platonic solids. The arrangements fit so perfectly, deep down, even the ethnos of the time hoped that God had arranged the universe according to the delicate blueprints. But as we know now, his hypothesis was incorrect. Mesmer does not fully understand 37's goal or her methods, but she absolutely deserves that 37 research and all her efforts are predicted on a shared hypothesis. The hypothesis is beautiful as Kepler's conjecture, but equally untrue. Have you considered that your hypothesis might be wrong? What? Nothing. Perhaps I was a little hasty. 37 gaze shifts from the invisible square on the floor. John Napter took 20 years to devise logarithm, and Ferta's last theorem took 358 years to be fully proven. It's likely that my answer won't be found overnight either. I know that I need to hurry. I can't afford to waste time, but
The scripture says...
the doctrine instructs us never to lose composure or reason, to abide by the laws of all things and ascend the divine steps, so we can reach the highest height, and not descend in the abyss of chaos. I shouldn't forget my limitation. The other 3 exchanged glances.
Great! Great!
Congratulations!
Fantastic!
Congratulations! It seems our mathematics has finally discovered a basic truth. Great achievements don't cover overnight. The more challenging your research, the more time and effort it will take. These things are proportional. Your research is fascinating, and I look forward to the day it is completed. But don't overexert yourself. That's just a little bit of advice from your senior at the computing center.
I regret to inform you.
Many talented researchers have focused excellently on their work, forgetting their too are mortal. We don't want you to follow in their footsteps, 37. I don't know if I understand what you mean. I'm feeling just fine.
Fabulous.
I thought as much.
Look!
Wow. This is worse than I anticipated. Look! X chooses his words carefully, but men in the pocket just rolls their eyes and chimes in. You look like a defeated blood moon jellyfish, oozing the vibe like you've been sucked in a plastic bottle. Alright, take care, Ruka. Have a good rest. Thank you for the raid again. You look like a defeated blood moon jellyfish, oozing a vibe like you've been stuck in a plastic bottle without a water change for days. You got tentacles floundering all over the place. And I've been meaning to ask, what's with the messy hair? Even the cactus cat in my lab grooms himself better than you. 37 looks around in confusion, attempting to locate her frictional tentacles floundering in the air. Oh, I see. It's a metaphor, isn't it? Renison Pocket rolls their eyes again in response. Whatever else you do, do not try to stay cooped up in the lab for too long. People need a little excitement to keep themselves sane, and that's advice from the therapist. I already have enough work on my hands. I don't want to see you lining up at the door of the autism therapy room. 37 blinks, complimenting for a moment before fixing her bright eyes on the group. Are you already so concerned about... are you all really so concerned about me? Someone takes issues from her choice of words.
Huh?
Yeah, right. Like, how nuts are we for caring if you work yourself into madness? You're already beyond delusional.
Thank you.
You're also kind, thank you. I don't feel like I'm pushing myself, but spending time with all of you makes me happy. It reminds me of the past. Whenever my friend Sophia would come to see me, if I was working on a problem, she would linger at the door for the longest time before coming in. She always asks, "Am I disturbing you, 37?" To tell the truth, her visits did sometimes slow down my progress. 37 shakes her head. But research can always be continued later. The truth is, I was happy she came to see me.
Looks like...
It sounds like you have a good friend there. Yes, she's not here now, but I hope I can introduce her to everyone someday. I'll be honored to share this secret base of ours with you and your friends. Your time together seems to be nearing its natural close. Speaking of which, remember the special exhibit I mentioned? It opened in 3 days. Our friend Urza, our Dectocon, exerted its considerate effort to facilitate it. Medicine Pocket and I assisted him a little too. If you have time, you'll be very welcome to come and join us as we view its offerings. We can pursue the exhibit together. Of course, if our therapist would like, she can join us too.
Sure.
Thank you for the invitation. I'd like to come, then. Can I have another ice cream? You really like that junk, huh? I just appreciate its geometric. It's nothing related to its taste. I think it helps my mind more efficiently.
Nice.
That's the lamest.
Nice.
That's the lamest excuse I ever heard. So, if I give you a scoop of anti-electric paste that looks like ice cream, will you eat that too?
Oh, please.
Give it a rest. Don't you find the line of questioning to be a little childish? Why are you always taking sides? And worse, never mind. Their farewell chatter seems to go on without ends. The young researchers debate over the essence of things and the function of the taste and digestion systems. Until, at last, the fifth party presents brings an end to the intermittent discussion.
I'm sorry.
Sorry everyone, excuse me.
Huh?
Huh? Medicine Pocket seems to have gently forgotten the ice cream shopkeeper was there.
But
It's just, I heard you say next time, and I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, but I'm afraid there won't be any more ice cream next time. My shop, well, is closing down. It's like, I need ice cream! So we're on part 5, logarithm. You need an umbrella or a reverse calculation of the exponents. Exponentation. After the owner announced the closure, a brief silence ensues.
Huh?
Really?
Huh?
Closing down? What do you mean closing down? I mean, I'm going
Hey,
out of business.
Stop it.
I can't keep the shop afloat. Of course I know what closing down means. Do you really need do you really think I need you to explain that to me? The questionnaire really interrupts.
Haha. Amusing.
Don't tell me this means I have to go back to clever clones. Your Compoko servers always sneak spites from my order. When I complain, they say it's just no more loss allowance.
oh,
Oh, so we won't be able to have this ice cream anymore. The girl who was about to leave stops in her tracks.
no.
That beautiful regular dotogram and its magical, refreshing, and rich flavor. The next time I come here, I won't be able to taste it? A happy, beautiful thing, never to be seen again. What terrible news. 37 thinks for a moment.
No.
I must
Doesn't make
admit,
sense.
I don't know much about anything about economics, but if this shop sells such beautiful ice cream, yet it's closing down, there must be something wrong. How about this? I'll help you solve your problem. It appears their farewell was premature. So then, I believe this is the problem. After subjecting the shopkeeper to a Disney series of questions, the little Nazi consultant consumes another free ice cream as she announced her solution. This chart illustrates the gap between your shop data and that of other shops. Apparently, your foot traffic and average transaction values are slightly lower. That is the issue. So we only need to increase these two numbers, and your troubles will be over. Really? Which one did you say? The owner leans over the charts, attempting to decipher that many points and lines, growing more and more confused.
Huh?
Are you serious? I feel like I walked into the set of some boring ass sitcom.
Damn it! What are you doing? Are you even listening to me?
This is my private lab, a place for ideas of consequence. Now you barge into here with your catch-all number name and forsoon my brainstorming board with profit loss analysis for the 2-bit ice cream stand.
Oh, please.
Correction, this is not your private lab, but I admit, I am questioning why we're still here too.
Interesting.
Come on, friends, we all know why. We're having a good time, aren't we?
Huh?
You wouldn't know fun if it came up to you and sat on your head. Let's all sit around having fun while we discuss how an ice cream shop owned by some idiot that doesn't even understand business is failing. Duh. The answer's obvious. How can you expect to help someone who, when asked how much product do you need to restock daily? Answer, I don't know exactly, but I feel like a lot. Hey, I've put up with all of your insults long enough. I can hear you now. You're the one who's always making unreasonable requests, like asking for refills when you eat all the ice cream off the cone. To think I actually topped you up, and now you're making fun of me?
I have to remind you.
I'm just stating the facts. People can excel at some things, but suck at others. Your ice cream is to die for, but your business is a mess. Why don't you just sell your recipe? The shopkeeper is speechless, her face slowly reddening.
Ugh.
You can't be serious.
Yes.
Fine, I admit it. This is my dream. To own an ice cream shop. It's always been my dream, and I don't want to give it up. The owner turns away from menacing pocket, rolling eyes, and faces her would-be savior.
Please?
I was ready to give up, but then you appeared out of nowhere. Do you think you really can help me, little girl? What was it that you said I need to increase? Average transaction value and foot traffic. Look, your average transaction is about a third of the other shops. And your foot traffic is only 63 people a day, which is not enough. That's why you're losing money. Your revenue is too low. I thought 36 people was a lot. Think about it, over 60 people.
I have to remind you.
That's some scary level of busyness, lady. Look at the other stores around you. You got lines of people queuing up at Clever Cone's ice cream truck every day. That's hundreds and hundreds of ice cream daily. You should thank Erza for not using the museum store to make a buck, or you'll be losing even more. He lacks business sense, like someone else I know.
Okay.
Okay, you're right. The shopkeeper surrenders to their turn, re-examining the charts 37 drew. Then, she does something most unheard of at the Laplace Scientific Computing Center. She questions 37's conclusion. But I sell ice cream, and the others sell souvenir, so of course the average transaction value is higher.
What if?
I can't price my ice cream to match their average transaction. I know it tastes great, but honestly, I don't think people will pay that much. You mean this ice cream isn't worth a higher price, even with such a beautiful regular dentagram shape? The mathematics, unfamiliar with prices, is involuntarily stunned, then humbly accepts this correction.
Fine.
Then we only have foot traffic left to work with. We will have to increase that number.
It's like this.
Just raise this number to 2.56 times the original. We can break even. Although, I don't particularly like the variable 2.56 isn't an exact number, it's during a decimal approximation. So multiplying that by 63 people entering the store, that will be...
Fine.
You see? This is the downside of using appropriation. You get 161.228, but the number we're discussing is actually 161. And that's a bit counterintuitive. 161 is a definite number. Defiant number. Its proper divisor adds up to less than itself. I think once you reach the goal of 161, you might pursue better numbers like its next palindrome, 171, then 181, 191, 202. Wait, please, just stop for a moment. Although she doesn't understand the girl's calculation, the owner noticed the numbers are getting bigger. Let's start with our first goal. You want me to sell 161 ice creams a day. Is that even possible? That's a whole lot of people. How can I serve that many customers every day?
Too simple.
There's no need to worry. Your business hours are from 10 in the morning to 6 in the evening. So you only need to sell one ice cream cone every 2.89 or rounding up every 3 minutes. I didn't time you when you served us, but I simulate the process, and if everything goes smoothly, I think you can do it within 30 seconds.
I think.
It should certainly be possible. The shopkeeper's eyes drift into the distance, imagining all the customers.
I don't know.
Maybe I can try. She's convinced, but then she asks a crucial question. But how do I get these 2.56 times more people to come to my store? Let me think. The talented mathematician opens her mouth, then closes it. After a while, she finally tries to give an answer. Multiply by 2.56, then subtract 0.28. Huh?
What?
Great! Fantastic!
Haha, what did I say? You can't just increase the number. The long silent onlooker sees the opportunity to spit a little venom. Welcome to the real world, number brain. This might be quite sudden, but I think it's time for a drastic appraisal of our understanding of mathematics. Many people found the world of mathematics to be too abstract and difficult to comprehend, so they're afraid of it. You can't blame them. Think about an apple, a person, an event, a success, or a failure. These concepts are easy to grasp. But when numbers first detach from their counted objects, then when 1 becomes 1, and just 1, mathematics departs from the material world we are all familiar with. Bound by our physical form, we can only chase those numbers in abstract. We study and research mathematics, using those numbers to borrow power from the transacted world. In that world, nothing boldly appears as 0. Negative numbers stand on the opposite end of the existence, and even infinity can be included in the formulas. In the world of mathematics, we can do anything, at least theoretically. Our minds are free, no longer constricted by reality. Only a few understands this freedom charm, and fewer still wields true omnipotence in mathematics, like our delightful new friend here. But there's just one small problem. The silent audience stares at the eclectic researcher, then coolly looks away. Most people will feel awkward and stop talking, but this unknown number is no ordinary digit.
Come on.
Do me a favor, will you? Ask me, what problem? Merciless silence. The problem is, mathematics has the power to do anything in the abstract, but to make it work in reality, for that, we need to follow 3 steps. First, we need to attract a real-world problem to a mathematical one. Second, we need to solve this problem with the real mathematical world. And third, we need to find a way to bring that abstract answer back to reality. You mean... His audience understand. Mesmer Jr. looks outside. Past data shows an average of 9,837 visitors per day during the quarter over an 8-hour operation period. So after 3 hours, about 3,689 people should have entered.
I have to remind you.
Hey, you know visitor numbers vary by time of day, right? There's a peak period. I thought it was just a common sense. Even so, the gap is too big. Only 457 people reached an area where they could see the shop sign. People aren't coming to the refreshment area where the ice cream shop is located. That's the root of our problem. Huh? 400 people sounds like a whole lot. You ever heard of an entry rate? Not all 400 of them are hungry, so they don't walk in, and only 20 that do will buy anything. So only about 12% of visitors come through the refreshment area. I have to admit, that's lower than I expected.
Oh.
No wonder I like sitting here. There are hardly any annoying people around to bother me. But why don't people come this way? I don't understand. Wait, this map. The brain that solves the computing center's year-long sale problem in seconds is now buried in a small puzzle about ice cream and visitors.
Fabulous.
She's on the third step. Returning to reality.
I see.
I
I
got.
understand now.
Good for you. Good job, 37. Alright, part 6. Fractal. Now we know how to measure its length. Numbers tell us everything. At the round table, 37 gazed at the beautiful decagram treat in her hand, then at the long line of visitors outside the ice cream shop. We graphed the foot traffic in every museum hallway, the composure of people walking through them, and compared the impact of other related facilities on foot traffic. And then we found the coordinates of these numbers in the real world. The refreshment area housing the ice cream shop is in the passage connecting exhibit B3 and C2, but this passage is narrow. But so most people visit all of zone B, then take another route to zone C. People looking for refreshments feel like they have better options. The hallway to the office area takes space. So this refreshment area also lacks a restroom. Visitors with children are important customers for ice cream shop, but this refreshment area is in the opposite direction of the play area.
It's like this.
And so on. I found out what number. Wait. And so on. I found what's behind the number. The hints they've given us. Behind the number are people, their habits, thoughts, and subconscious action leads to this result. Honestly, it feels strange and counterintuitive. It's completely unlike my usual way of observing the world. I always observe the phenomenon first, then look at the numbers behind it. Not the other way around. I don't know if it'll help my research, but I see them now. Seeing his new friend daydreaming again, Ed shrugs and continues. In short, 37 told us the answer behind the numbers. The essential steps were elementary. Our key issue was to stop disaster location, so we need to robust publicity campaign to direct people to our hidden gem.
Nice.
Actually,
Nice.
linking the market with the special exhibit was my idea. Urza, if there's a prize going to be the hero who brought more visitors to the exhibit, don't forget who's responsible. And our therapist helps as well. She suggested some new ice cream flavors. See those orange bits? They're candy lemon peels.
Nothing.
I just heard people around the office mention that they like this kind of thing.
Brilliant.
It was a great idea, Mesmer. They're just lucky. Wait, they're like lucky little numbers scattered on the plotted line.
After that,
And thus, the Star of Wonder ice cream was born. Erza takes the last bite, feeling the refreshing ice cream melt in his mouth, waltzing like a crispy tone. It's delicious, really, and your story has been so inspiring. Before you came along, the only people that would visit the exhibit here are fellow researchers in similar fields, but thanks to this ice cream, we attracted more people than ever. Erza looks behind him. Among the streams of visitors or scholars, locals, and tourists who seem to have traveled from far and near. Near and far, flanked by young kids. Some talk passionately in front of the exhibit. Some quietly read the description, bursting out up with sudden realization, and others simply admire the beautiful display. But they all share happy smiles, and every pair of eyes looks at the exhibit lights up. I've been feeling a bit nervous. Today is the first public speech since being appointed courier of the museum. I tried some tips to help ease my nerve, just imagining the audience as potatoes or mushrooms. But I think something you said will help most, 37. Behind the numbers are people. They came from all over for the special exhibit. They're real people with real love for knowledge. They're not potatoes or mushrooms.
I think...
That's the real trick to this. Is your speech about to start?
That's right.
It is. Would you do me the honors of joining my audience?
Sure.
Of course, I'd love to. The young researcher raised from the round table exhorts their friends to the proving grounds.
Oh,
Wow, there are so many people here as in our lecture hall. Oh no, I'm losing my nerve again. Maybe I should try imagining everyone as mushrooms. No, that's avoiding the issue. It's rude.
why?
Why would you be nervous? No matter who listens or how many people there are, the content of your speech remains the same, doesn't it?
Essentially.
The truth doesn't change, and that's all we should be accountable for, too.
Yes.
You're right, Miss 37. You're very right. We worked hard to get this miracle stone ready for display. I can't sell it short. Phew.
Come on.
You must exhibit the same spirit you demonstrated while ascending the snow-capped mountains, my friend. Your task today is trivial in comparison.
And you, my friend.
If you need to, keep an eye on us. I have a way to keep you too busy to be nervous. You better not have any bad ideas running around your mind of yours. Go on, Erla. Imagine everyone as mushrooms. Can be your fallback plan.
Thank you.
Thanks, friends. I'm on now. As the young curator steps up to the center of the stage, the murmur surrounding him subsides.
Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. And sincerely, thank you all for coming. I haven't been the curator of the La Paz Museum for long, but I'm honored that my call has been answered from all over the world. You have different identities, live different lives, have different passion, but our wish and ideals are the same. That is, to spread knowledge, to spread experience, and to let the vastness and beauty of the world be seen by all. Applause ring out. The young curator has earned their respect and trust through his remarkable achievements. People listen to him with excited murmurs, already anticipating the surprise he will unveil. Many precious exhibits have been sent to the museum. They're only generously lending or even donating these treasures, so their splendor can be appreciated by all our visitors here.
I didn't know.
This number far exceeds my expectation. I must admit, while it is an honor, the extensive appraisal work has been a challenge for us. But fortunately, with the help of many knowledgeable friends and colleagues, it was a challenge we overcame. I am truly fortunate to have such passionate and considerate companions. The young man in the center of the exhibit hall looks towards the corner of the venue, smiling and nodding.
Good job.
No need to thank us, although we did do a good job, didn't we? Quiet, you. Hey. Ha! You're all too funny. The whispers draws a few eye rolls, and the young researcher quiet down. The speech continues.
Of course.
All the donated specimens we received are invaluable. Each one is unique. But among them, we honestly believe the piece holds the most remarkable significance, and for the reason, we created a special exhibit to highlight it. Ezra extends his hand, directing everyone's gaze to the pale blue, semi-transparent crystal placed at the center of the stage.
It's
The Miracle Stone, from the ocean of crystals that cover Neptune's surface. Murmurs and exclamation of wonder is raised as people gaze at the beautiful crystal. Structurally, it is a diamond. In fact, it is not much different from the cut diamonds we know.
but this time it's different.
Instead, its uniqueness lies in the fact that this beautiful stone comes from us from 4.5 billion kilometers away. As the previous attempt, Voyager 2 carries the Arcanum Space Teleportation Formula, an attempt to obtain material samples from other planets. But as many know, these previous attempts have failed. Although arcanists have always suggested that spatial distance was not the true reason for the formula failure, ultra-long distance space teleportation are still considered impossible.
After that,
Unfortunately, during the 1980s, space agencies worldwide stopped equipping their probes with these arcane formulas to lower costs.
an
Yet-
extraordinary discovery.
We still have a chance when Voyager 2 flew past Neptune and succeeded while the others failed, bringing us this gift from a distant planet. Many mysteries surrounding this beautiful diamond from afar remains unsolved. We all know Voyager 2 reached its closest point to Neptune on August 25, 1989, but this diamond was teleported back much later. In this Arcanum ultra-long distance teleportation formula, so different from ordinary teleportation that is caused by noticeable time delay, for now, with only one case example, we can only speculate.
Research shows.
Still, according to the Space Center reports, this beautiful stone appeared, and the complex and precise formula appeared to have finally succeeded. At the same time, the detection system has found Arcanum trace not belonging to the original formula. It left a faint, almost unparticular fluctuation before disappearing, and we haven't detected any similar Arcanum fluctuations since. Several researchers claim to have heard a beautiful melody when the Miracle Stone appeared. The melody they hummed were astonishingly consistent, making it hard to believe they simply hallucinated the sounds.
But
However, we couldn't find any recording matching the description on any of the space station detection device. With so many uncertainties surrounding this stone, people often ask, is it real? Could this really be the diamond from Neptune? From the second farthest planet from the Sun in our solar system, what secrets does it hold? Amidst the expectant gaze, the young creator shakes his head. Of course, we have no definite answer for now. Voyager 2 still sends signals to Earth, but aside from the mature teleportation success data written into the records, we cannot elaborate on its achievement. The only certainty is that this diamond indeed appears at the teleportation circle reception point. Following his gaze, the audience focused again on the beautiful crystal in the center of the room. The space researcher was extremely careful, and after finally confirming it posed no danger, the Miracle Stone was prepared for its exhibition, allowing us all to behold its brilliance.
it
is a miracle, jointly brought to us by a union of science and arcanum, and a wonderful mystery waiting for us to unravel. After a hard-fought battle, the young creator returns to the refreshment area, surrounded by his friends, to sit down again at the round table. How did I do? I wrote my speech ahead of time, but actually slipped over a lot of parts where I actually got up there on stage. Your contents are unwarranted. Your exhibition and your speech received universal acclaim. I don't know much about astronomy, but I found your speech to be inspiring. You remind me of a friend from my home. He's a bit like you, often quiet and reserved, and never keen on being the center of attention. But when he speaks in front of a crowd, everyone stops what they're doing to listen. Oh, I almost forgot. 37 exhibition draws looks from her friends, except for Mercer Jr., who quickly realized what she meant. Your letter. I haven't written back to 6 yet. Let me see. 6 won't mind if it's a little rough. I think I can tear a few pages from this notebook and use it as letter paper. X stops her before she can harm her notebook. Hold on now. I recall there's some Laplace issue stationaries and envelopes in the medicine pocket's room. Why don't you use them? It is better to receive the letter with a respectful presentation.
Huh?
What's the big idea? Promising people my stuff without asking me. It's not that I mind, but do I even have any of that stuff? You do. I saw them in your, I want to say pile of junk. Come on, let's retrieve them together. Did you just call my office a pile of junk? The two walks off, bickering. The kind creator watches them with concern.
Oh,
They won't fight, right? Oh no, they're already arguing. Maybe I should follow. Found him. He's over here. There he is. Hey, Erza. Spadilla. And Desert Fano, too. What brings you here? It looks like the young creator has other guests. I missed your exhibition last time because of that fight, so I thought I'll surprise you today. And wow, I mean, there were so many people. Such a big event, and you're the host. You're amazing, Erza. We just listened to your speech. Very impressive, little creator.
thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad you came. Friends always have endless things to discuss after a long time apart. Erza finally takes Mercer Jr.'s advice, apologizes, and leaves to greet his friends from far away. The real-time star map on the ceiling still shines brightly, and only the therapist and the girl favored by numbers remain at the round table. What do you think of the diamond from Neptune?
Why?
Why are you asking? You haven't expressed your opinion on it, and you often have a different perspective from most people. I suppose I'm curious to know where you stand on this miracle stone. It's beautiful like the garnet we saw to that day, but the same orderly, solid structure. Though, I don't quite understand why people favor diamonds over other symmetrical minerals, and why this one is considered more special than any other. Space and time exist only in the phenomenal world, and the logic essence isn't determined on where or when it was originated. So, you don't think all that much of it? Mr. Jr. recalls a word used on the promotion poster. Maybe besides its astronomical significance, people admire the stone for the fantasy it represents. You mean because it comes from far away, people value it more than simple items from much closer? That doesn't seem fair. For most people, yes. Emotional preference leads us to make less objective judgments. The girl appears contemplative. Like how people didn't come to this ice cream shop, those were also emotional preferences, fleeting thoughts, not solid, objective reasons. Honestly, I don't really understand it. Though the girl solved the ice cream mystery with numbers, she still doesn't truly understand the people behind them. It isn't her fault. The bird is destined to never understand the feeling of a fish. If others are all trapped in a cave, this is the girl that was born to see the vast starry sky on the other side of the rocky wall. Asking her to focus more on the stifling cave around her would be asking too much.
Good.
Fine. The therapist decides to give up, just as she has been telling herself from the beginning. This is none of her concern. But suddenly, she recalls a story. A story she heard long ago when she was in the SPDM with her old friends. 37. Do you know how Neptune was discovered?
Huh?
To be continued. Part 7. A logarithm axle. 1, 2, and next, of course, comes 3. Medbear Jr. told me the story of Neptune. Using the elegant formula of gravitational theory, people discovered Uranus, but they found that Uranus didn't follow its calculated trajectory. They began to wonder, was the theory wrong? Did they fail to account for something? Some people choose to deny it, others to avoid it, but some decided to face the challenge head-on. They wanted to prove what they believed in was correct, so they made a hypothesis. What if gravitational theory wasn't wrong? What if the deviation of Uranus' trajectory was caused by another, and yet undiscovered 8th planet? Proving this wasn't too much. Astronomers only need to point their telescopes in the right direction, following the calculation precisely. And then they discovered it, Neptune. I really like that story. I think now I understand what people mean by fantasy. People often make decisions that are difficult to understand. Decisions based on the sentimental likes and dislikes. But behind those seemingly irrational decisions, they may actually be logical. Myths say that people have things they love and things they believe in. So when they find something in the phenomenal world that aligns with these things, they feel happy. I think one way of understanding it is people make their own hypothesis. When those hypotheses are proven, they find results that fit the rule. People give them special meaning. That meaning is invisible, intangible. In the same way, numbers exist in everything, untouchable but real. They all connect to the transcendent world we long for. We make our own hypotheses too. Sometimes we can prove them and discover a new theorem. Sometimes reality tells us, no, you're wrong. I'm glad that my ice cream didn't say no to me. This project opens my eyes to something. I took my problem from a logical axle to an additional axle and turned my numbers into corresponding addends. So on. So now, I should take my sum back to the original axle.
Too simple.
It's such a simple answer, if only I have thought of it sooner. Still, I think I'm starting to see the outline of my next square. After that, whenever my research progress stalls, I will go to the museum to relax. It's not an idea as a beach, but it's nice too. It's on its own way. The ice cream shopkeeper is still very grateful for us. Every time I go, she tries to treat us to a free ice cream. But I've done a lot of jobs for the researcher at the computing center and earned enough points to pay for myself and treat everyone else now. The shopkeeper stops making the Star Wonder flavor after the special exhibit ended, but I don't mind. My favorite flavor is chocolate anyway.
Brilliant.
Her ice cream is really wonderful. Its beautiful geometric shape helps me organize my thoughts. So every time I go to the museum, I choose just to eat the right amount of ice cream. Don't be shy. Eat as much as you like. There's plenty more where that came from.
Great! Great!
Don't you worry about that.
Fantastic.
I never pass up a freebie. And what does this prove? That good things happen to good people.
So gross.
Really, you two? You don't feel any shame over accepting 37's ice cream benefits on her behalf? I know I don't. Of course you don't.
But
But more seriously, it's not recommended to consume ice cream in large quantities. Be careful not to get a stomach ache, 37. If I'm not mistaken, you had more than one cone already.
Mhm.
Don't worry, this is my only... Don't worry, this is only my dairy cone today. 1 and 2 makes 3, representing the virtue of moderation and prudence. 3 ice cream cones couldn't possibly be too much.
A perfect number.
Though perhaps 4 is a better number. It's the smallest composite number among positive integers, the greatest miracle, the most perfect number. Clearly, 4 is a better answer. Final answer.
I reject.
You mean you want another one? I don't recommend it.
Why?
Why not? 4 is obviously better than 3.
Nice. Nice.
I think 10 is better, myself. It's the smallest 2-digit number in the decimal system, and when you write it in the 10th column, it only counts as 1. How cool is that?
I have to remind you.
But just a friendly reminder, the refreshment area doesn't have a restroom. I often see my friends, Mesmer Jr., X, Medicine Pocket, and others are there. They're all fascinating people in their own right. Being with them often reminds me of the time we spent with Sophia, and even with 210. Sometimes we see Spadilla and Desert Flannel. They're also friends from far away. Spadilla is a positive integer and always full of energy, while Desert Flannel is a bit like Mesmer Jr., a fraction who can be strict with herself at times. They're fantasizing too. But then one day, we received bad news. Terrible, heartbreaking news. All things in the phenomenal world are uncertain and unstable. I have known the truth for a long time, but it still came as a surprise.
Hey!
Hey, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to let you know the ice cream shop's closing again.
Huh?
What nonsense is this now? Look at this long line. Are you really telling me you can't manage with this much success? No, it's not that... Wait. No, it's not that I need to close, but I did some math, just like 37 taught me. I've been making good money recently, but once this rush is over, my revenues won't be as high. Even with decent daily earnings, it would take over 2 years for me to break even.
So?
So I thought, why not hand the shop over like someone did to me? If I sell it while it's hot, I can recoup my investment.
Fine.
It sounds like you changed your thinking and improved your reasoning skills. I guess that's a good thing. But if the shop is closing soon, I'll have no ice cream to eat. I've never seen those beautiful deltagrams again, but it's definitely not a good thing.
No.
But that's not the worst part.
Haha. Amusing.
So that's it? After all we went through, I'm still gonna live life without these cones? What happened to your dream?
but
Regardless, I must say, it's a very rational decision. Don't worry, ma'am. I support you fully. And if this unreasonable customer tries threatening you, you can contact that courier over there. Here's a... Is this allowed? Do something.
But
Transferring ownership to the shop isn't a violation of a contract. I can't abuse my power in this one. What will I eat when I go for my walks? Those visitors passed by? I bet they'll taste terrible. Anyway, what's the new owner gonna sell here?
I heard that.
I heard she's gonna sell beans in all kinds of weird flavors. You know, like crab, scales of demlock, snail eyeball. Who would want to eat snail eyeball flavored beans?
Object.
But we can't eat beans.
Huh?
What? Wait, you don't mean that eating beans is against your religion, do you?
Of course.
Of course it is. Eating beans is a terrible sin. The worst sin imaginable. If you eat beans, you'll be sentenced to death.
I'm sorry.
Sorry and no offense, but that sounds a bit harsh. Considering you're not from our school and we're not even on the island, you won't be get punished. But I can't eat them all the time. But I can't eat them all the time. What a shame. A shop mutilated by selling beautiful ice cream into evil beans.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, but you're eating chocolate ice cream. Isn't that the same as eating beans?
Huh?
What? Chocolate ice cream is made from chocolate, and chocolate is made from cocoa beans. Cocoa beans are beans. Therefore, you've been eating beans.
No.
It's impossible.
No way.
Impossible. If I really ate beans, then I should have been taken by the Apraxo by now. But I haven't been taken by the Apraxo. This result is contradictory, so there's only one possibility. The hypotenuse is incorrect. You must be lying to me.
Oh.
37, your ice cream's melting. I bought a handkerchief. Here, you can wipe it up.
Alright.
See the poor ice cream, and don't worry, they're not beans.
Fine.
You really believe that? You're gonna believe this guy? Huh. Maybe your Abraxas is simply on its way. Can we just all have some peace and quiet?
Hey!
Hey, the reporter who wants to interview me before the shop transfer goes through is here. Would you like to take a picture together? They're the ones who made this ice cream miracle happen. The young researcher from Laplace. My hypothesis is correct. Medicine Pocket is lying. Chocolate ice cream isn't beans. It's true that cocoa beans have beans in their names, but they're from the McClure family, not the...
For instance.
Then wait, they're from the McClure family, but wait.
Yes, exactly. Here you go.
The newspaper. That's a cute picture that they all took together. Alright. Okay, let's go back to where it says they're from the McDowell family, not the Fabachi family. What more? Cocoa beans are processed into chocolate ice cream. It's like getting a very bad negative infinite non-repeating decimal, like negative 1.414213562373. It can't be written as a ratio of two integers, and the string of digits after the decimal point never ends. It looks awful. However, if we square it, it makes 2, a favorable number, so there's nothing wrong with the chocolate ice cream. I hope you can try ice cream too. I asked Regulus to bring you some. Along with this letter, I enclosed further paper, journal clippings, and printed materials I collected. You can use those to update the island's database. I also gathered many new puzzles proposed by mathematics from the outside. Some are extremely challenging, and I already have ideas for a few solutions. But, to be fair, I'll give you some time to work on them too. That way we can exchange our thoughts on the next letter. And there's also this newspaper. Remember I found a report of me and I suggested I send it to you so you can see how well I'm doing for myself. All in all, I'm happy here, and my research is progressing. This time, I found a better answer. It might not be perfect, but I believe it will be good enough.
And
Then, I'll return to the island, and Sophia will come back too. We all share the light of truth, just like before. You may have noticed that the total word count on the letter is pedodome. I trust you understand what I mean. Just don't try writing me a short reply. That would be cheating. I look forward to your reply. As the last stroke falls on the letter, the writer successfully completes her declared goal. There is no need to count again. The reader confirms this to be the case. Ha! Upon unfolding the letter, the young man unmistakably expressed his first sign of emotion. Of course, the other party present doesn't miss the significance of the moment. Whoa, did you just smile? I thought that pale, gloomy expression was wilted to your face.
Regulus!
Oh, there's Sonata too! To be continued. And we're at the last part. But I think the ad's coming up in, let's see. Oh, I got 8 minutes, but yeah, I think I also hit snooze on the ad when it pops up. Part 8, the one who counts sand. One day, we will know the answer to that answer. Wait. One day, we will know the answer to that number.
My apologies.
Sorry, Regulus. Didn't mean to offend. We meant to say... 37 mentioned preparing a gift for me.
Oh.
Oh, right. You mean the ice cream. But you know, ice cream melts, right? I couldn't let my brand new apple third get all sticky, could I? So I ate it for you. You can thank me if you want. What's your blanche? Well, you're welcome. Now it's the ice cream thief's turn to feel awkward.
My apologies.
I'm sorry. As for the other items 37 cents, please replace them here. I'll put them away later. Please remember to check them. I left the list here too. Not to brag, but it was real hefty. Yeesh. We're in a hurry to get back to the Foundation, so hurry up and write a reply, and we'll take it back with us. Time ain't on our side. Surprisingly, the young man shakes his head.
No.
There's no rush for now. You sure? Not to stick my beacon where it isn't welcome. That kid's a right loony at times, but she's still a kid at heart. Aren't you worried about her at all? 37 sent some puzzles. I need time to think through the answer. It's an evasive answer, but the rocky pirate simply stares in his expressionless face and, after a time, accepts it. Righto, if that's what you want. Regulus. I'll go get the ship ready. My new partner and I need some time to bond. She has a bit of a touchy temper sometimes.
Okay.
Understand, I'll wait here. Sonata watches her companion leave. You seem troubled. You're right. The young man's gaze is as calm as still water. Under his silent scrutiny, Sonata decides to voice her concern.
I'm not sure.
I've been thinking about 37. I'm not sure if keeping things the way they are is the right thing to do anymore. She's brave, even when facing the worst. She never backs down, leaving her home alone to find new answers in the outside world. I admire her. I'm not here to judge your school's philosophies. Apparel has provided us with numerous ways to combat the storm. Only 37 seems to believe that finding the truth will solve everything, even what happened with Sophia and your fellow islanders. But can the truth truly solve everything? The young man remains silent. Sonata takes a deep breath and continues.
Maybe. That's just...
Maybe. Sometimes. Bad things just happen. People have to accept it and move on. Someone needs to tell 37. Tell her those friends of hers who return to Essence won't come back. Tell her that maybe there's no truth that can bring Sophia back. While she's been searching for the truth, we avoided telling her it. Maybe it's not the best thing for 37. We're in danger of letting her waste her time and efforts, only to find out it was all for nothing. Maybe we should tell her before that happens. Her composure buckles as she finishes each phase. Sonata knows she is crossing the line with these words. She looks up to observe the young man's expression. Six knows no anger. He simply turns his expressionless face once more.
No.
There's no need. Everything you wish to say to 37. 37 already knows. You mean... You care about 37, and I'm deeply grateful for that, but there's a certain misunderstanding I must correct for you. She may still be a child, but she observes everything that happens in the phenomenal world with precision beyond any of us. 37 isn't blind. It's just that her faith remains strong no matter what. Six turns, facing out at the distant sea, but his gaze seems to pierce further and deeper beyond it. Allow me to put it this way. How many grains of sand do you estimate there is on the beach?
Huh?
Sand. The abrupt change of topic caused Sonata's eyes to widen. She gently looks around the sprawling beach. Perhaps 100 million? A billion?
I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, I don't really know. I don't need an exact number, just an estimate within the acceptable range. There are numerous methods to attain an answer. The firmer estimate is one of them. Sonata blinks. I studied that. Yes, you're correct.
My apologies.
Only... Sorry, I still don't understand what you're saying. Listen to my next question. How many grains of sand do you think there are on this planet? The girl's eyes widen further.
Huh?
The whole planet? That must be a large astronomical number. Something no one could possibly find. Oh! For the first time, the young man nods. You see it now? This number is just very larger, but not infinite. So it is possible to devise an appropriate answer. Archimedes did this out over 2,000 years ago. He hinted that even if sands filled the entire cosmos, the number wouldn't exceed 10 to the 63 power. His knowledge of the universe is limited to his time, so while his estimation might not have been accurate, his method remains above reproach. The answer must be many myriads, but not infinite. It's infinite. So then you mean... So now looks at the sand beneath her. The average mind cannot imagine numbers like 10 to the 63rd power, but the first class graduate from the SPDM understands what the man wishes to convey. You believe that what 37 is searching for exists. Yet, even if it exists in the world or anything beyond, finding it will be extraordinarily difficult. but not impossible. Sanada lifts her eyes up for the not quite endless grain of sand, matching her gaze with that of Six's own. Beyond the sea, the young girl is turned to calculate that very, very, very large number. I can confirm one thing. 37 made this herself. Now, she's trying to prove it. And until she disproves it herself, no attempt of telling the truth from any of us will shake her from it. The end! We finished 37's Anecdote.